So lately I've been checking out Tubi originals, and tonight I watched Dante's Hotel. This one has a lot of familiar faces in it. I was pretty impressed with that because and I almost shut it off the second I saw this, but I stayed for the celebs. So name recognition does good sometimes. Uh, yeah, this is an Asylum picture. Now, another thing that actually kept me here before, also, is I watched a movie that was from Asylum about a couple weeks ago called The Exorcists, and it was okay. And I was like, I can't believe it, you know. And so this came on, and it has Annalyn McCord, it has Judd Nelson, it has Ted Raimi, it had like there was just face after face after face. I was just like, oh whoa, there's a lot of people popping up in this freaking movie for an Asylum picture. I was kind of surprised by some of the names. None of them are obviously like big names, and I'm sure Asylum gave them not much, but they're here. Now, this is a New Year's Eve horror movie. We don't have a lot of those, so if you want to throw this into your rotation, because there ain't many to choose from. You got New Year's Evil, and you got a couple, but not many. Now, this is about a hotel, and obviously, and there is a man who lives there, played by Judd Nelson from Breakfast Club, and he tells people like every 12 years Father Time comes and takes his victims, and they're not listening to him. They think he's a crackpot, but he does live in the building. Because of some lawsuit settlement, he got the entire 12th floor, and this movie is all about 12s. In fact, I remember when that little series came out, and I think it might have been Asylum. There was like 11, 11, 11, 12, 12, 12, and 13, 13, 13. Remember those? This one would have been 12, 12, 12 because they mentioned the number 12 about 6 trillion times. No, 12 trillion times, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 1200. But anyway, so he says, yeah, like you can't be here, you can't throw this party, and Annalyn McCord's character is the one who is responsible for putting together this party, and Ted Raimi plays her boss, who's like lighting a fire under her ass to get her motivated and to get this thing on track. And Judd Nelson, of course, is like the old man who's crazy Ralph. You're all doomed, trying to get them to stop. And then you've also got Moon Bloodgood, who I haven't seen her in a little while. She plays a detective who is investigating this case. Her boss is an actor I'm familiar with. I've seen him in a ton. The chef in this is the dude he's in tons of stuff, but what I know him most recently is Cobra Kai. He's the guy who owns like the strip mall at Cobra Kai, the sleazy landlord guy. So, and there's tons of people. Now, he's not mentioned in the credits, but I swear the football player from Summer School who starts going after Shawnee Smith's character, the pregnant chick, I swear that's this dude. He's the dad in this movie who has the little kid. He wasn't in the credits, but I couldn't find that character, so I don't think he's credited here, but I swear that's him. And other familiar faces as well. As I said, this one's just got recognizable faces all over. Okay, anyways, this movie is really, really bad, but I was like somewhat into it at first, and then as it went on, it became so silly, so ridiculous, so many actions of people, because you've got Father Time, who's like this big lurking presence and this big black. He almost reminded me a bit of, if you've ever seen the movie Scrooged with Bill Murray, the one who plays the Ghost of Christmas Future. You know what I'm talking about? That guy in here, he kind of reminds me of that one, but the one he runs into the elevator with, the one that's in the show, not the one that actually ends up being it, because that one has like a television face, almost like the comic book Saga. But this one, it has like a weird old man skull face with like hollow eyes. Anyways, he also is carrying a scythe around that has like a time turner in it, and they even like play around with like Harry Potter type magic with that time turner. That's what it reminded me of, like when Hermione's like taking them back in time in Prisoner of Azkaban. So yeah, there's just, you know, there's some cool stuff. There is some cool stuff in here. So I'll give the movie credit for that. And I did finish it. So it kept me interested and engaged enough. Towards the end, though, I was super checked out. I even lost myself with some of the plot because it does get so silly that I was pretty much done with the film. But at that point, I was like, I'm not going to review a movie I haven't finished. So I'm all the way in at this point. I might as well get done with it. But man, there's a lot of really bad CGI. Some of the kills are okay-ish, but they have like almost everything has CGI on it. But I don't know. There's certain things, because the Father Time is like handing out VIP tickets, and whoever takes those ends up going into like the VIP room, which that whole thing never made any sense, because once our main character, played by Annalyn McCord, once she realizes, because no one believes the guy, and once she like finds out that there's this VIP room, she doesn't do anything with it, and she continues to keep letting it be this like kill room for Father Time, who is actually like from hell. This is supernatural. This is like, you know, he's taking him to hell. And he has like an elevator that he takes their souls down. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool premise. I liked that stuff. I liked some of the concepts of the plot, but dude, this is such a dumbass movie. Definitely not a recommendation, but a much more enjoyable Asylum movie than movies they used to make. Like, they're definitely putting out, I don't want to say higher quality because it's not higher quality, but more quality than once was. But that's not really saying much, right? Annalyn McCord's trying here, like probably harder than she should. Judd Nelson is fine-ish, but you can tell he doesn't really care. Ted Raimi is just Ted Raimi. So the characters are all just kind of flat, one-dimensional, doesn't really matter. They're just there to kind of move the plot along. As I said, the kills are whatever. There's no nudity. There's nothing really to sink your teeth into in like a story way that, yeah, it's just a bad movie. It is, but I got through it. So I'll give it that. I think that's it. Yeah, but a better Asylum film than it used to be. So maybe they're heading in the right direction. They're obviously putting a little bit more money into things these days. But man, it gets way off the rails in the end. Like in the last 20 minutes or so, they really try to like ramp it up, but that's when it just becomes like a really bad CGI fest. Like, there's great CGI. When people get down on CGI, I'm like, have you not seen like Avatar: The Way of Water? Like, that shit looks amazing. For anyone to be like, CGI has no place ever in film, that's just insane. That's not true in the slightest. But with something like this, when the people involved are obviously either underpaid or, you know, talentless, I don't know which. I'm assuming probably just they hire like the cheapest people to do it, and do it quick. So the quality is what you pay for. But this just ruins the movie. The movie was already bad on its own, but that makes it even worse. And yeah, you're supposed to have like a fist pump moment kind of thing in the end, and it's just, you don't care. It's so stupid. But there you go, Dante's Hotel. Let me know if you watch it, but you probably shouldn't. But it's free on Tubi, so if you got nothing else to watch, I guess it's a movie. All right, bye.